your now, that's what's important. We experience a collapse in our life structure most of the time because we fail to funeralize failed yesterdays. You have to be strong enough basically to realize you can elevate out of your current situation. Instead of looking at where you think you should be by now, look at where you have grown out of. There are many individuals who need help with their blueprint. And I want to be that vessel, nothing special, just that mouthpiece to inspire you to construct the best version of your life that you can be. Welcome to the Life Structuring with Eric podcast. I am your host, Eric. Yes, thank you for tapping in on this amazing Monday. You know how we always start off, take that index finger and hit that share button. Share it out with your friends, your family, your co-workers. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. First, let me start off by apologizing. Um, I haven't actually did a podcast, I think, in about a month. Just been a little busy with work. I had some new things that take place at work. I took on a new position. So it's been a lot of training going on. So was busy with work and then also just with my business. And I received the email over the weekend, and it kind of pushed me to let me know that I need to get back on the grind and start back creating some episodes. It was a listener. Actually, I don't know them, but it was grateful to show me the growth that my platform, the direction that it's going. This guy, he lives in Utah. I hope you don't mind me shouting out your name, Donovan. But Donovan reached out to me from Utah, sent the email, and he says, Mr. Eric, I've really been missing your podcast. I've been going back and just kind of binging episodes on Spotify, just listen to old episodes, but I really need to hear your voice. Your voice is really needed, very much needed right now in my life. And you have helped me grown. I've grown so much from listening to your podcast. I hope you have not quit. If so, I encourage you to come back. So that was enough for me to create a podcast. But one of the things I emailed Donovan back and I thanked him for that email. I let him know that he definitely gave me a push. But then I also, told him, I said, look, I'm grateful that you tap in each week and listen to me, but you know that this platform is also the foundation of it, basically, is Jesus Christ himself. So I said, make sure that you stay, that you are staying rather tapped in and connected, because that's your main source. I'm just a voice, a vessel that he's using to reach you, but don't forget, the main source that your help comes from. But I was grateful for his email, grateful, that he reached out and asked me, to create an episode. So I am here. I thank you guys for tapping in on today. This is going to be brief. Um, Basically, I just wanted to chat a little bit about the cluttered mind. Just the conversations that I've been having with a few people here in the past month or so, and just the different conversations that I've been having and different stuff that people have been talking about. And it's a lot of us that we're just cluttering our mind with unnecessary stuff. And this unnecessary stuff that we're cluttering our mind with, it basically causes us to just be exhausted, just exhausted. Have you ever felt like your mind is like a cluttered attic filled with boxes of unfurnished thoughts, worries, distractions? In today's fast paced world, our minds are bombarded with information, obligations, expectations, leaving room for little clarity and definitely no peace in our life because we are always busy thinking and just a lot of these thoughts that we're thinking, it's unnecessary. But in this episode, we'll explore practical strategies to declutter your mind and reclaim your mental space. Because when our minds are too clouded, it's very hard to find peace and live fully in the present moment. So straight out the gate, let me ask you something. Is your mind overcrowded because you keep overloading your mind with everything except for the ingredients that God has given you to fulfill your purpose? Shish. Yes, sir. Because that's what happens a lot of times. We crowd our mind with everything, just overloading it with everything except for the ingredients that God has literally given us to fulfill our purpose. You know, God tells you to do A and B, and you say, okay, God, but I'm pretty sure C and D is going to work. This is how our minds get crowded because we take on unnecessary thoughts and we become hoarders. Yes, sir. We become hoarders, which start to exhaust our minds. Then you look for ways to release stress. And the number one go to are drugs, sex, porn, shopping. These are some of the things used to escape, from the cluttered mind. Let's start by identifying the sources of mental clutter, from endless to do lists to social media scrolling. Our minds are constantly pulled in multiple directions. It's like trying to juggle a dozen balls at once, but eventually something's going to drop. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment, fully engaged with our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. By bringing awareness to our thoughts, we can begin to untangle the mess and create space for clarity. Another key strategy is to prioritize and simplify, just like decluttering a messy room. We need to identify what's essential and what can be let go of. What can we let go? But a lot of times, a lot of things, when we start to clean up those messy rooms, we know we need to let it go, but we are holding on to it. My friend in the 10th grade gave me this. Uh, this right here, I found up the street, but I really feel like God wanted me to find this. So you holding on to all of this clutter and it just caused you to be a hoarder. Just because you to be a hoarder. And more than anything, let's not forget the importance of self-care. In the midst of a busy life, it's crucial to carve out time for rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation, whether it's through meditation, exercise, or spending time in nature. Self care is essential for maintaining mental clarity and emotional well being. It's always good to get away from the worldly noise. I make room, to make sure I have this in my schedule at least once a month. You can do things like take a road trip, go sit by the lake, you know, make it mandatory that you spend a minimum of 90 minutes in a quiet space. No music, just quiet time where you can meditate, be still, breathe, and remember your purpose. This is a great way for you to stay locked in with your purpose, you know, because what I found, a lot of things that we deal with is things that we have done based off some things that we took from our parents growing up. What we were led to believe was a family tradition was nothing but a daggone superstition. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. A lot of things that there's like, this is a family tradition. It ain't nothing but a daggone superstition. You know, so we have to learn to declutter that stuff out of our mind, release it, and stop hoarding those unnecessary thoughts. Stop saying, well, mom and daddy didn't do this for us when we grew up, so I'm not going to do it for my kids because mom and daddy didn't do it from us. Lean in real close and grab this. Lean in real close now. You leaning? Pull out your arm. Get ready to grab it. It's not your fault that you didn't grow up with it, but it's your fault if you don't have it now. I'll say it again. It's not your fault that you didn't grow up with it, but it's your fault if you don't have it now. So stop hoarding all of those family superstitions and go grab what has your name on it in life. Life has so much to offer, but a lot of times we reject it because of some of the stuff we grew up with and some of the things that people in our family told us we shouldn't do and stuff like that. And it's not a family tradition, it's a daggone superstition. You know, I was having a conversation with someone the other day and we were talking and he was talking about how he gets frustrated when people come to him and say hey, I be seeing you on social media, you're doing your thing, I may not comment, but I see you and I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you. And he was like, they won't click like, they won't comment, they won't share, but when I go to their page, I see that they constantly sharing other people's stuff all day, pretty much every day of the week. And I said to him, I said, so what if their lack of support is God's way of removing their need for approval? Because guess what? You feel like you need their approval, but question, isn't your business progressing without them? Yes, it is. So why clutter your mind with frustration? Stop it. Look at the big picture. God shows us things so we can detach from certain people that we feel we need to keep hoarded in our lives. Stop hoarding. Stop hoarding. And guess what? The only way to fix it is to delete it. The only way you can fix it is to delete it out of your life. So, dear listeners, if your mind is feeling overcrowded, remember that you have the power to declutter and create space for peace and clarity. It's not about emptying your mind completely, but rather finding balance and harmony amidst the chaos. So, yeah, I hope you found these helpful tips on your journey. I hope you took some notes and hopefully these tips will be helpful on your journey to a clearer, more peaceful mind, because it's all about us learning to just basically declutter the mind so we can move on. So yeah, we thank you for tapping in. And I always appreciate you guys tapping in weekly. Once again, I apologize for my absence, but I'm back. And yeah, just please learn to declutter your mind so that you can live freely. Because no matter what you're going through, you can always bounce back better. With that being said, I thank you for tapping in. You guys have an amazing week and be blessed. Peace.